Hello guys, welcome back to our coding club. Yeah, in this video tutorial I'm going to be showing you something about CSS and how you can work with CSS. I remember a couple of videos ago I showed you something about CSS, which I told you stands for cascading style sheet, and I worked on form and table, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again. So but in this tutorial I've gone ahead to save my work with index.html right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open our normal or create our normal HTML tags. So here you have your HTML, the head, the title, the body. I'm sure you guys already know this because I did. If you don't, you have to go back to my HTML tutorial and check that out, please. So bro, right here and right now, I'll be talking to you guys on something we call selectors. And then specifically in this one, I'm going to be showing you something called type selector. So I think I should just go to the head and give you that type selector. I think that's fine. Type selector. Type selectors. Yeah, this one. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to I may not really need this, but just for formality's sake, you should just have to work with that. So the first thing I want to type in my HTML code is something called a p tag, which I'm sure you guys are conversant with. So I'm sure you know something called the p tag. So in this p tag, and go. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. So I can go ahead to display this on the screen. I'm sure you know the result of this. So this is a paragraph, and I refresh the screen. So this is my type selector. If you be aware, this is from the head. This is the p tag. That's the paragraph. That's the space between this and this. That's the paragraph. And this is where the head is. That's bad. So I just closed it because I was clicking on the head rather. So nevertheless, what I want to show you guys is this is the p, and you saw this is the paragraph on the screen, right? So what we did in CSS, this is called an inline style equal to style space. Okay. What is that? Style is equal to color, and then we have something like this. Regular color, we call it red. Yeah, why does that look strange? It's not correct. But that's funny. I've never felt that way. Yeah, that looks very strange. So this is what we did in our HTML, in the previous classes in our HTML. So we specified the attribute in this format. So style, color, red. So in this place we did most of our colors, most of our coloring, our backgrounds and some sizes. But now we wouldn't do this with our HTML, but rather in CSS. This is actually called an inline. This is an inline format of doing this. But now we are doing something not external. If I'm doing this in external format, I should create a new page called blah blah.css. Then I'll link it up with this. So I'll do my HTML here, I go back there, do my CSS, and it works together. But now I'm going to do the embedded format. So working with the embedded format, all you have to do is to get back to the head. So immediately after the open tag for the head, so you create something called style. I'm making this as simple as possible so you won't be confused. So I can get rid of this. I can leave that, but I don't really need this, just to make you see my code very neatly. So I can have something called style, and I can go and get the closing tag for my style. This is the closing tag for the style, and the next thing I would do is, that's not true. Let me get this. So the next thing I will do here is, this is where I write all my codes for my style. For instance, to make the color for the p tag, all I have to do is to make my p tag. So now this is what I call type selector, because now I'm using the tag, that's the p tag, So if this is the P tag, I'm using the P tag. If it was a B tag, like B tag, like this, so here shouldn't be any more P tag, here should be a B tag, right? Good. Hope you're getting that. So but because it's a P tag, I'm using a P tag, which is called a type selector. I told you guys this in my in our class discussion. So now I have something like a curly bracket or curly braces, whatever you call this. So within this curly brace, I'll go ahead to specify my color. So this is my color property, color separated with a regular colon. So I'm specifying the kind of color. For instance, I'm giving it green. If you want to take green, save, right? So now I can go ahead to refresh and the whole code changes to green. Yeah, that's it, green. So the next thing I can do here is to specify the background color. I have to separate this attribute from the next attribute with a semicolon. Then I can specify background, not background color this time around, it's called background. But in line you specify background color, but background with the normal regular column, because this is how the CSS separates between the value and then the type you're using. So in the background color, I can specify maybe sharper, black, right? So when I do that, I can go and refresh, and it takes the black as a background color. So I can also separate this and specify the font size. The font size I can give it like 130. 130 might be small, maybe 200 px, 200%. I can use pixels, I can use percent, 200%. And then I will refresh it, it will increase the font size. That's the font of the text, and then the background automatically follows, right? So that's fun. Okay, yeah, I can do that. So the next thing I want to show you, I want you to understand something, please. I want you to understand something. So imagine I take this code and copy everything and duplicate this. Let's assume this is a paragraph. I say this is a second paragraph. Then here I'm going to say something like this is a third paragraph, right? So imagine I'm trying to do this with our normal HTML. You know, I'm going to specify the style, maybe the style attribute here, blah blah blah, before I get my code, and I'll have to come to the second one and specify the style all over again, and specify the color. I have to come to the third, specify the style, and specify the color I want it to take. But now if I want this split paragraph to take the same format of color, I'll go ahead and make another one called H1. And in my H1 I'm going to have this is our heading, for instance. So now I want to, now let me run this code. You're going to say, because this is a P tag and everything in the P tag for my type selector has to change the format. So when I refresh this, you see this is a paragraph, this is a second paragraph, this is a third paragraph, but this is a heading, never took the same impact like the other one. But imagine what happens when I change the P tag to a H1 tag, or for my type selector, and I go ahead to refresh. What happens? Fine, everything goes off, then only this is a heading that shows the paragraph, or rather not the paragraph. That got carried away. So imagine doing multiple things at once just by using CSS codes. That's fun, right? Okay, I think I'm going to stop here in this particular class. So next time we're going to move on to other ways you can do this. But guys, I tell you, you need to comment, like, share the videos. For now, I'm just saying bye bye.